the beach and the sea. It's not a very clear day. And somewhere up in that direction I am heading to show you another good place where I like to stay overnight, away from all of the activities of the world. But it's quite a long way. As you can see, this part is civilization. Up there is where I'm heading. On the way, there's this temple and a tirtha where there is washing, drinking and water. These steps, and I have counted them, there are 108 to the top, where I sometimes stay. I'll just take you around this temple. There's some smoking goings on, whatever that means. And this is a very nice bright orange temple situated at the bottom or the foothills of this high hill. I like to call it a mountain. There is carved in the rocks over here a Buddha face, they call it. I think it's some other god. But if we go through this little jungle thicket, there's this face carved in the rock. People there standing today. The best drinking water from the mountains, straight from the cow's mouth. So just a little way up the stairs there is this place with a little worshipping temple thing, and a little further on in there, now it's a little overgrown, and I think today maybe I won't go all the way to show you. Well, we'll give it a go. There is a cave where a monk used to live, a sadhu Hindu monk. I think he's not there anymore, hence this is why it's all overgrown. So next time, when it's not been raining a lot and when I'm not about to travel, I will take you into the 3 caves that are there, and maybe we'll spend the night in the smelly bat caves at the base of the mountain. But I prefer the top of the mountain in the open air, which is where we're heading now. I spent 3 months on top of this mountain, living outside under the stars. Nowhere else, just here. I climbed these steps every evening before sunset, 108 steps, and every morning before sunrise, 108 steps down. This is after you've descended the hill itself. The steps are just the beginning. And it was a beautiful time, 3 months of solitude. During the day I would go to the empty temples around the town, which are shady and provide good places for meditation, and return here in the evening. If it rained, which was very seldomly, not often, then I would come down, not all the way down, just to this level, and one side or the other of this temple, with a bit of plastic and ingenuity, you could get shelter from the rain. And it was my refuge, but not a refuge I often required. You see, there's some God in there, which is why I don't like to stay in the temple uninvited, only in emergencies or by invitation. I'm just showing you around now as we're being tourists, looking at this touristy place. I hope you don't mind. I think there's lots of videos like this, but maybe from a slightly different perspective. I just called this the Little Elephant Temple, or rain shelter. Now my Australian friend, whoa, I fell down then, and we used to call this Hilton Rooftop Hotel. As you see, this is daytime, there are people. My Australian friend used to live down to the right here, on the seaside, depending on the weather, or around on the other side. And I used to live up at the top in those bushes, just the other side of those bushes, beyond those people. After the sun goes down, or before sunset, then these people just disappear. Some workers arrive just before sunrise, which is why I disappear at that time. This is a library, would you believe, which is actually open. People, well, I don't think anyone goes there, but you can go there and borrow a book. Huge building. A little old man lives in there, and there are a few books. I'm going to give it a go, walking up to the top just to show you my exact spot where I lived for 3 months. You see, it's a longish way. As we ascend, the paths diminish to be replaced by rocks, which actually are my little signposts to my spot, which is exactly where and as I left it quite some time ago. I think I may have visited it 6 months ago, 8 months ago. Here, where that beautiful butterfly was where I lived for 6 months. 3 months. I last visited 6 months ago. So we'll just continue to the top, which is only, I just stay down there. You can see my bowl, or it just roll over a little. But this is the top of where I lived. some time, 3 months. I'm going to come back. I can't see if this video is going because it's too light and not the best conditions to film. But you see, in the day you can't stay here. It is very hot, and this is the cooler time of year, which is why the forests are better for monks, because you can stay during the day, you can find the shade and the cool and water. Up here it's literally for night time only, and of course there are no people, no tourists. Nobody really goes out at night alone, and if they're partying they wouldn't come up here. It's too far to go, bringing lights and picnics and refreshments and all of the things of the modern world. This is a place that's hard to get to and provides a quick treat of a visit, followed probably by an ice cream or something. Not somewhere one would generally come to spend the entire night. But after about 90 of those entire nights, in fact overall I spent considerably more than that, over a year, I spent most of that year up here. But it became very much my home, very automatic, that each and every evening I would return here for meditation, sleep, meditation, leave. That's all. So simple and so beautiful. We'll go down now because it is extremely hot. So that's upstairs to the balcony. This is my bedroom, my suite. I just laid on a plastic sheet, that was all. I mean, I didn't have a mattress. In fact, the plastic sheet only lasted, well, probably not even weeks. But it was not wet. There was not this dew we have in the mornings currently. And then a nice, generally easy walk down in the mornings. I don't remember so much grass before. It was more, this is because this is just the end of the monsoon season, and before it was later. It was more these rolly gravelly stuff, and this is what I was saying the other day. You can slip on this and slide all the way down there, and I've done that on a number of occasions. Very painful. And on this one there's nothing to stop you at all. An amazing thing is muscle memory. Coming back for this visit, I've noticed there's all these places like this, and a little flood place I was walking through earlier, where my feet seem to know where to go. How is that? It's been ages. But they find the little footholds without thinking. If you think, it doesn't work. So you retain these habits. So some habits are good. That's a good one. But of course it shows you the power of our habitual behavior, and how this practice of meditation, Buddhism, is to act in accordance with what we really see, hear, smell, taste, touch and feel at the moment, in this current moment, and not from past memory or predicted future happenings, because it is only the truth that is happening now. So my feet finding these little footholds could be doing me a favour, but if one of those footholds is not there, like where we went with the cave earlier, there is a foothold there that certainly isn't there. It's a big deep hole right down to the bottom. So I was watching where I was going, and that would be a disaster, of course. So I'm rambling on as I walk down this hill, full of confidence. Shame about the litter. This is as far as the drinker people would get in the evening, I suppose, but they soon run away as soon as the sun goes down. People don't like the dark I've found in my experience most Asian countries. They'll stay in the towns with all the lights and have parties on the beach, but you get out into the forests and the mountains at night time, all you'll find is scary monks who don't mind the dark and are quite happy to spend their night with the ghosts. Woo! Okay, Namo Buddhaya. I'm really just showing you the other perspective of my route down. And I'm not ever saying exactly where I am, but I'm not hiding it. And I know for anyone who's concerned, nobody's going to actually really want to stay up there where I have stayed. I do it very discreetly with no tent, no equipment, and I won't even put my phone on at night, you know, because this could show lights from interfering with insects and such like, but can be seen. So this is the way. So it's never going to change that place into a place where people go camping. It's really not conducive for camping. It's the most. It's great for sitting up in meditation all night, laying on volcanic, which is very spiky, sharp rock, is a very, very unfortunate experience. You really sit in samadhi for your rest. I did lay down, I did sleep, I'm used to it. So that's just funny monk stuff. But ordinary people, they're not going to be flocking up there in their coach parties to spend the night on top of that hill. I can assure you of that, for sure. Although nothing's sure, but I'd be very surprised. Namo Buddhaya. And on the way down, rock to my left, drop to my right. Rock, drop. But a nice path if you are careful. Steps. 108. There could be something in the way you count them, but I arrived at 108 each time. I like that thought. Hear the serenity of this place, spoilt by some electronic device making a most unfortunate noise. But it's all good.